season science hall. I don't know. I bought books out of there. A little snack room was in there too.
How does it feel to be back?
It does feel good though to be back.
We'll play all over God's heaven, heaven, heaven. Oh, everybody talking about heaven ain't going there. Heaven, 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 heaven. Play all over God's heaven. God's heaven, heaven, heaven.
Good morning.
God's heaven, I got shoes.
So, I guess what I remember about the interview is certainly her presence always. You know, she has this way of, her personality is very infectious. I mean, she has the smile, and just, she had such a poise. So Keme was in the group that we selected for the McNair Scholars Program, and then we lost our funding. So in the fall, I called all the scholars together. We had picked them in the spring, and there was probably about 10 to 14 students, something like that. I remember the room we were in, sitting around a long table, and I was explaining to them that we had lost funding, that the funding would only go for 6 months. They'd be able to call themselves McNair Scholars. The college was committing to seeing them through to graduation, but we would not necessarily have money for travel. We would not necessarily have money for research, which is the things we had promised you through the interview and what the program offered. So I remember sitting with this group of young people. You know, we lost the grant, we might not have this and this, so you still want to be in? And there was one or two statements like, I don't know, this isn't what we signed on for. And the third statement was Keme Hawkins. And she was, like you say, all in. Oh, let's still do it. This is great. Look at these people. I'm all for it. This is what I want to do. And of course, her eloquence and sort of heartfelt speech or whatever really made this whole, and they were younger too. Mm-hmm. She had a good, powerful voice then. Made them all go, oh yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Yeah. I didn't know what we would be doing, but I said, let's do it, right? So then I remember she gives this presentation, and I also remember different faculty, and I don't know if you remember, from different schools coming up to you and pretty much saying they want you to come to their school for graduate school. And, you know, she's just with her grace and her smile, like, yeah, that's good. And I'm just sitting there going, honey, you are going to have options. It was such a, such a beautiful moment. And again, every audience is sort of in her spell, right? I mean, she's gifted at connecting really quickly. And so I remember that and kind of being like, yeah, she's from Augsburg College and my McNair program.
And her interest in hip-hop came out, and how is this going to mesh with literary studies? And it wasn't just an academic question. It was an academic question that was also at the same time a personal question about Black identity, about who Keme is, what does it mean to be a scholar and African American in the modern academy, and just so many things. You so rarely get a chance to talk to a student 10 years out and say, so how does this fit together? And then to meet a student again, she's so gracious in sort of suggesting that Bob and Cass and I played some part in that, John Schmidt I think also, but to feel like your work matters, so it matters in a way to have her come back and to be able to talk to her and feel, wow, this is exciting. This is a student who's picked up and carried the ball and kept going.
Well, she's still extraordinarily herself in that she has a natural charisma that people are drawn to. You just like to talk to her. She's got that winning smile. She's got that winning personality. She engages so beautifully, and that was always there. But what I think she's changed, she seems more integrated to me now. She seems more peaceful now. I mean, to have gone through the whole academic PhD route and to go through what everybody goes through, which is what did I do? Why am going through this hell? To get through the other side, to have completed it, to have the confidence that gives you to do what you want to do with yourself. That confidence shows in her.
Well, what I remember about Keme from the beginning is that I hadn't met her yet. And a part-time, an adjunct professor who was her freshman composition teacher, we call it effective writing, came in and handed me an essay and said he wasn't going to be here the next semester, and this was a student who was a real writer, and would I please promise to make sure that she got a lot of attention for the whole while she was at Augsburg. And that was one of the best pieces of advice anybody ever gave me, because then I met Keme, I began to be able to read her work and work with her, and I realized that Keme had the stuff right then in freshman year that you can't teach. I didn't see her as a PhD or as a professor. I saw her as a famous writer. But I think both of them are important, the academic and the studio experience, the creative experience for Keme and where she's going and what she's doing with all of that inner stuff that's still growing and getting stronger and better and being shared with more people.
Is the kind of person who is creative in the world. She was able to give the class this extraordinary generosity of spirit. And, I owe her a great debt of gratitude in having a kind of, not just insight, but an instinct on how to talk about very difficult material.
Seeing Keme, a student who has changed the college for the better. In this way, Keme Hawkins is a model of the power of Augsburg education that is not always discussed, the ways in which our students gift us with their spirit, the ways in which they change the campus or a single classroom, the ways in which they inform all of our work as educators, the ways in which they challenge us all to grow together in community. In her work at Augsburg and a career in academia and beyond, Keme Hawkins is a winning example of the Augsburg promise in her deep investigation, discipline, and service to the world. On behalf of Augsburg College, the Augsburg Alumni Association, I am pleased to present Keme Hawkins with the First Decade Award. We honor your efforts and your achievements thus far, and we wish you continued success in your good work. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for that applause. I appreciate it. Kind of standing on my tippy toes here just so I can make sure that everyone can hear me. Pull it down.
Yeah, you got it.
That's better. Thank you. That's less stress. Through my work and understanding identity, it started with my own identity. Through travel and academic research, I came to sort of develop a peaceful understanding of myself, which extended into my other creative pursuits of yoga and meditation and Ayurveda, and it led me to create an online health and wellness business where I help cultivate peace in others, because I truly believe that peace that you cultivate in yourself will touch those around you.